Bahamians were named for recognition by the Queen. The Free National Movement ratified 8 new candidates as it gears up for election 2017. And the U.S. Embassy in Nassau issued a ban on jet ski operations in the capital. Find out about those stories and others. I'm your host, Krishna Virgil, and welcome to the Tribune's Top 5. 26 Bahamians from all walks of life have been recognized by Her Majesty the Queen for exemplary service to the country.
Receiving knighthoods are Sunshine Holdings Chairman Franklin Wilson for services to business and philanthropy, and Charles Carter for broadcasting and media. Anita Allen was named a Dame for services to the Bahamas Court of Appeal and the judiciary. Named companions of the Most Distinguished Order of St. Michael and St. George, CMG, are Wilfred Alfred McCartney Sr. for services to the Brethren denomination and intrapreneurism, and Dr. Leonard A. Johnson for services to the church. Officers of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire Civil Division, OBE, are James Catlin for culture and acting, Cleophas R.E. Adderley for contributions to music, Teleter Strawn for crafts and entrepreneurship, and Reverend Dr. Philip Arthur Ramming for civic service and religion. Members of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire Civil Division, MBE, are Thomas A. Basden for business and commerce, George Gilbert E. Pinder for commerce and fishing, Dennis H. Hall for services to the community, Joshua Emerald Culmer, JP, for civic affairs and community development, Reverend Dr. Marina Sands for services to the community and religion, Ansel Saunders for service to the historic and cultural development of Bimini, and Romeo Farrington for business and tourism. Receiving British Empire Medal Civil Division, BEM, are Curtis Hanna for business and tourism, Hilton Alexander Boleg for service to the community, Reverend Revy Francis for service to the community through religion and civic service, Reverend Albert Strawn for service to the community and religion, Carmita Burns for community development and social services, Doris Farah for community development and social services, Sister Agatha Hunt for religion and education, and Everett Ferguson for his contributions to sports. Awarded the Queen's Police Medal for their services to the Royal Bahamas Police Force, our Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police, Stephen Seymour, and retired Assistant Commissioner of Police, Bishop Hewlin Hanna. Opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis accused the government on Monday of putting the cart before the horse with its push to implement national health insurance while ignoring that Bahamians will need sufficient time with the NHI legislation before it is passed. He told the Tribune that for the government to announce plans to release the historic draft legislation this month was another example of the Christie administration's laid-again style of governing. He said 3 months would not be sufficient for consultation of the bill ahead of April, which is when officials have said the plan's primary health care package will be rolled out. On Sunday, the government said the draft document for the health care scheme had been approved by Cabinet and will be released for public and further stakeholder consultation before the end of January. Dr. Minnis said, "What they are doing is putting the cart before the horse. This is nothing new when it comes to the Christie-led government," end quote.
With a little more than a year until the next general election, the Free National Movement moved to ratify its first set of candidates.
The Free National Movement on Thursday night during its Central Council meeting ratified 8 candidates as it moves closer to completing its full slate of hopefuls to run in the 2017 general election. This meeting comes on the heels of a stinging letter penned by a former council member who voiced concerns over the party's fate and was highly critical of FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis. The former member, who requested anonymity, accused the Killarney MP of an underhanded move to oust former election candidates who are part of the council and replace them with new hopefuls to stack the odds in his favor. However, following the council meeting at the FNM's headquarters, FNM Chairman Michael Pintard categorically denied this, saying the party would not exclude any former candidate from the Central Council. He said former candidates needed only send him a letter requesting to sit on the council and it would be approved. When asked about the claims of secrecy with party dealings made by the insider, Dr. Minnis told reporters that he was unaware of where the allegations came from, adding that the ratification process had been transparent. The new candidates will automatically become members of the party's Central Council and are expected to soon begin an education process, according to Dr. Minnis. The new candidates include Chanel Ferguson, who will run in the Fox Hill constituency, Don Saunders for Tall Pines, Frankie Campbell for Southern Shores, Leonard Sands, Bain and Grantstown, Dr. Dwayne Sands, Elizabeth, Halston Mootreed, Nassau Village, Howard Johnson, South Beach, and Zendel Forbes, South and Central Andros. The execution of the Christie administration's tougher measures to combat crime now rests with the Commissioner of Police, Prime Minister Perry Christie said on Thursday. Speaking with reporters, Mr. Christie said he has had very strong meetings with Commissioner Ellison Greenslade over the last 48 hours on crime, and subsequently expects the police chief to outline those strategies when he delivers his annual police statistics report. When asked by the Tribune when he would unveil tougher crime policies, Mr. Christie said, quote, "I am not going to pretend to be the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner of Police has had very strong meetings with me in the last 48 hours. I expect the Commissioner of Police in his annual report to speak to what's going to happen." He added, "I've already said to the people of the Bahamas what to expect," end quote. The country recorded 149 murders last year, the highest ever in the history of the Bahamas. The previous murder record came in 2011 under the Ingram administration, which saw 127 killings that year. This comes after 2 men died and 9 other people were left fighting for their lives in hospital after a spree of shooting incidents in the capital over the New Year's holiday weekend.
The U.S. Embassy in Nassau this week issued a warning prohibiting all of its staff members from using jet ski operations in New Providence.
The ban came days after an American woman was allegedly raped by a man riding a jet ski at Cabbage Beach. In response, the United States Embassy in Nassau prohibited its employees from using jet ski rentals in Nassau, saying the industry is minimally regulated. The embassy also advised American citizens not to patronize jet ski operations in the Bahamas, as it also warned U.S. citizens living or traveling to the country to be aware of their surroundings and remain on heightened alert to avoid being victims of crime. The embassy security advisory was issued on Tuesday and said, quote, "Since July 2014, there have been 5 sexual assaults of U.S. citizens by jet ski operators in Nassau, the most recent on January 2nd, 2016. As a result, the U.S. Embassy has prohibited personnel under U.S. Embassy Chief of Mission Authority from using the services of jet ski rental operators in Nassau. This includes jet ski operators on Cabbage Beach and Cable Beach. We strongly advise that U.S. citizens do the same and not patronize these services. Jet ski rentals in the Bahamas are only minimally regulated," end quote. In response, Minister of Transport and Aviation Glenys Hannah Martin reacted to the move, stressing that the government has a zero-tolerance policy as it relates to the industry. In a statement, she said the alleged attacker in Saturday's incident was not a part of the water sports industry, but was riding a jet ski on a private beach. This is not sufficient for Long Island MP Loretta Butler Turner, who blasted the minister for her lack of compassion for victims of the alleged sexual attacks. This sparked an over-the-top stinging response from Mrs. Hannah Martin, who called the Long Island MP a nasty, vicious, and vile political opportunist for her remarks.
Want to get in on the discussion? Well, here's how you can. Just log on to our website at www.tribune242.com. Like us on Facebook, the Tribune News Network. Send us a tweet at Tribune242 or subscribe to our YouTube page, Tribune242.